This is going to happen whether you like it or not. So guys, while we are focusing on the possibility of a third world war, which again, I think is just a ruse, we have the climate change and climate experts saying that these climate anomalies and the things we're seeing like flash floodings, big storms, snowstorms, bad hurricanes, that these are going to get worse over time. Now, obviously, guys, there's a lot of things to contend with. And the third, nuclear war, or the possibility of us going to war with China and Russia, like I said, I think that's going to be staged propaganda to keep us scared. But while they're talking about all of that nonsense, while they're screaming about all of that nonsense, a lot of people are missing the fact that people are passing away left and right. And I think that's the new apocalypse, or rather, that's the apocalypse that we're not seeing. And it's a slow one. And I said in videos before, a year ago, 2 years ago, that the apocalypse is going to be slow. Like in movies, for the obvious reasons, they speed it up, right? And in movies, it's like overnight. But in the real world, the apocalypse is, in my opinion, going to be something very slow. And it's going to take a couple of decades to get there. But once we get there, for those of us that are still around, we're going to recognize that as being the apocalypse. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is going to be ushered or controlled into thinking that this is normal. And the population is going to drop. And they're going to blame all kinds of nonsense for the population dropping, and not the obvious problem that we had a few years ago where people were taking a specific arm ticket that started increasing the amount of people passing away. Now, I have to say that between the years of 2022, 23, we saw a dip in people passing away. Worldwide, that is. We saw a dip in the numbers. But the numbers are starting to creep back up again. And in 2025, as of today, we're currently at 35 million people that passed away. We are on deck to hit 35 million people passed away. Excuse me. We are on deck for 70 million people to pass. Now, I'm going to go over the numbers in a little bit from the years and the differences, but I think that that's where our focus should be. And again, focus, not concerned, not getting scared. If you didn't take the arm ticket, you got nothing to worry about. You might have to worry about seeing friends and family pass away out of nowhere, but again, that's something that we're going to contend with when we reach that crossroads. As of now, watching all of these people just pass away for no reason. In fact, one of my subscribers told me that she lost 2 friends suddenly this week out of nowhere, both in their early to mid 40s. There are a lot of people that are watching people they know, again, pass away over other friends within our age range, passing away out of nowhere. Even up until like their 50s and 60s, these people are passing away, and some will sit there and blame, oh, it's old age. I don't think so. Now, this is going to get a lot uglier, and I said in a few of my videos that we're definitely going to see some kind of acceleration in people passing away. Again, we are on deck for 70 million this year, and that's worldwide, not just here in the United States, that's worldwide. So, is it a pause for concern? No. Is it something we should pay attention to? Yes. If we start seeing more and more people each year pass away, then we should start being concerned. But let's see where the numbers go for the next couple of years. Now, like I said, they are blaming everything under the sun right now for causing the amount of issues we're seeing. We're seeing neurological problems. We're seeing respiratory problems, cardiac issues. We're seeing a lot of weird ailments pop up, and they're trying to blame everything under the sun. They're bringing in microplastics. They're talking about the poisons in the food or the additives in the food. And now, a new one. Well, hold on. Before I introduce the new one, there was a girl on a TV show called The Big Bang Theory. Now, I like that show, and I used to see it here and there. I wasn't like a huge fan and watched every episode. But whenever it was on, I watched it. And in the show, one of the characters, not main characters, but one of the characters that like came through the show every now and again, developed lung cancer. And she states that she never smoked anything in her life. She lived a healthy life. She worked out the whole 9 yards. And she developed lung cancer. And she didn't vape either. And she developed lung cancer. And the doctors are now saying, Air pollution is the reason why she got this. A young girl who worked out, never smoked, never vaped, and she develops lung cancer, and now they're like, the pollution outside. It's the air we're breathing. If that was the case, now lung cancer is up. That is true, but again, because of something that was recently introduced to the population over the last 4 years. But they're going to blame everything under the sun. They're playing Stevie Wonder right now. They're looking at everything else except for what's right in front of them. So now, of course, guys, there are a lot of people developing a lot of ailments, especially, again, kids developing Mr. C. They're developing that left and right now. There's more kids with that than before. So, of course, they're blaming society. They're blaming TV. They're blaming they're not even blaming the childhood arm tickets that they're taking. They're blaming everything else. They're blaming electronics. They're blaming food. And I'm like, wait, what? This is an increase within the last 3 to 4 years. And now they're blaming everything else under the sun. But they're not going ahead and blaming the arm ticket that a lot of people took back in 2021, 2022. They're not even looking at that. So, let's go over the death rates of people that passed away, that worldwide passed away. In the year of 2019, this is the year before Mr. 19, 55 million people passed away. In the year 2020, 76 million people passed away. A huge jump because Mr. 19 was unleashed on the world. 2021, 68 million people passed away. It dropped. 2022, 67 million people passed away. It dropped again. Then there was a big drop in 2023 where it hit 61 million people. 2024, it goes back up, 62 million people. And 2025, this year, in July, 35 million people passed away. We are on deck to hit 70 million. That is an 8 million person jump from last year to this year. Again, we're on deck for that. We might hit under, we might go over. Not sure. We got to wait till the end of this year, or rather January of 2026 to find out how many people actually died in 2025. Now, I run those numbers, guys, because that is significant in watching the number of people pass away. And I said that this year we were going to see an acceleration, and that might be the acceleration that we are watching this year, and forget about next year. Now, there is talk of arm ticket, being in food, meats, that is, beef and pork. And that in the UK, they're putting it in their meat as well. Now, the only problem with that, guys, is that once you cook it, the mRNA is destroyed by the extreme heat. So it's hard for the arm ticket to be in the meat and affect us when the heat is destroying it. Now, if they got some crazy new shit that could withstand cooking heat, that's a different ball game, and that's way more dangerous than anything we are taking currently right now. If it could withstand that kind of heat, we're in trouble. But up until that, I don't think it can, because they still have to refrigerate this shit or it goes bad and it doesn't work. So if that's the case, once you put it on the grill, it should null and void anything that's in there. But again, I need to do a little more research, a little more study on it, because I'm 1,000% sure it's inactive once you start cooking it. But anyway, guys, just be prepared for what the apocalypse could look like in the future. This could be another 5-10 years down the road, maybe 20, before we really start seeing an astronomical amount of people passing away a year, and then looking around and going, holy shit, this is getting real. It could be that. But we have to wait and see. And if they introduce a new situation or pandemic, things are definitely going to get out of control, and we're definitely going to reach apocalyptic level of people passing away, and society reaching its low point with no one around to do anything. We're going to all be huddled in a mega city or some shit. Well, I won't, but most people will be huddled in a mega city hoping to God that things get better. And I'm not in on that bullshit. But anyway, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.